r/AskReddit, nsfw, what's the worst excuse for cheating? I just have a flirty personality. I was looking for an excuse to break up. If you want to break up, why don't you just break up? I thought y'all were friends. An actual quote from an ex. My immediate response: how the fuck does that make it any better? She had absolutely no reply, just sat there with her jaw dropped like she was waiting for another cock to come flying in the room. One that I heard from a former marriage counselor was a woman who claimed her husband was so affectionate, hardworking, and considerate, she developed an inferiority complex and dealt with it by cheating. I thought about you the whole time. I thought it was funny you didn't know. Yup, that actually happened to me. The lights were off, I couldn't see. I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship, Ned Fulmer. It was my birthday and I really wanted to. It was an accident. Zipper mouth face like, what do you mean an accident? It just happened. I performed a soul retrieval on him, and discovered that he was my soulmate, for thousands of past lives and thousands of lives into the future. I was told this out of the blue, after a 21-year relationship, 18 years of marriage with 2 small children. Edit, thanks everyone for the support and the laughs. I really appreciate it. I'm with another woman now and very happy. I definitely learned about my needs and values through this process, and found someone who fits me quite well. Edit 2, wow. My first award. Thank you, kind stranger. Sorry we started the threesome without you. He caught me cheating, serves him right for spying on me. Random girl I overheard talking on her phone. I got called pussy for not cheating on you in a dream. You're too nice. I'm doing you a favor. I deserved to have sex with a hot guy. Came home early from work to my last ex in bed with another guy. I wasn't trying to hurt you, I didn't think you would find out. I came home early because I spilled a fryer on my leg and she ignored my call for a ride because she was busy being fucked. I'm still mad when I think about it. I'd had nothing but bad experiences, and had so many good ones with you, that I needed to know if I was fixed. I noticed that instead of saving money we were losing about $6,000 of our savings per month. We had a specific dollar goal to put a down payment on a house. When I looked into it I found out my ex-wife was spending over $6,000 a month. She got upset and said that she should be allowed to do whatever she wanted to with our money. She had been buying random URL names in the hopes one would be the name of an up-and-coming business that would have to buy it from her. Like a patent troll but with websites. I had been working my ass off picking up extra work travel to save money for us, and then took up even more work trips to make up for the losses and get us back on track to buy a home. After that, whenever I returned home she was cold and distant. I tried to be affectionate to her and she told me to hook up with other women while on my work trips because she wasn't in love with me anymore. She said she loved me like a cousin and hoped we could continue being married but in a non-traditional way. Meaning, she could still spend all my money LOL. When I found out she had been cheating she said that she stopped loving me when I criticized her use of our savings and then started traveling more, which gave her time to reconnect with an ex. She had broken up with the ex about 10 years prior when he became a pill-popping heroin addict. When they reconnected, he was clean so she left me for him. So the reasons were: 1. I shouldn't have been upset about her using our savings to buy website names instead of a down payment on a house. 2. If I didn't get upset at the loss of all that savings, I wouldn't have picked up more work giving her the time and space to reconnect with her ex. And 3. She always loved him and he was clean now. This one happened to a good friend of mine. I was with him just after this little gem was dropped on him, took him some time to recover. I actually wasn't cheating on you, I was dating, other guy. First, so I was actually cheating on him. Madam President of the Society of Pedantics didn't see an issue with what she said. Edit, holy shit, this blew up more than I thought it would. Waking up to see all the kind words people on Reddit are sending has made me smile today. I'll try to reply to as many as I can. My friend is doing well, he stopped dating for a while to focus on himself and improving his own situation. It's a little over a year after the breakup with his ex and he's doing well in life. To everyone who has had a similar / the same thing happen to them, I'm so sorry. You deserve better, remember you are loved, there are people who genuinely love you in your life. If you have someone in your life that fake loves you, you don't deserve that, and they don't deserve you. The cake was sitting in the fridge, someone had to eat it. She's way hotter than you. It was a gangbang and I had a mask on, it doesn't count. I'm an alpha and that's what we do. Yes, that's a real one. It was a misunderstanding, her name was same as yours so I got confused. I know nobody will read this, but I just got out of an 8-month relationship that ruined my life completely. The straw that broke the camel's back was her excuse for cheating on me. She admitted to me that she slept with her ex during the time I was visiting my parents in another state. Her excuse for cheating was, I wanted to see if you loved me enough to stay after I did it, so that's probably the dumbest fucking excuse I've ever heard for cheating. Thanks for reading. It was the alcohol, not me. I'll never forget my first semester in college. I met a girl in Psychology 101 that shared with the whole class that her boyfriend cheated on her. She said she was going to forgive him because his reason for cheating was because he had never slept with a black girl before and wanted to know what it was like. She's your twin. Does it really count as cheating? You didn't answer the phone at 2 a.m. after a 16-hour shift. Called back 4 minutes later and it was too late. I bought a house 2 days prior for us to live in. I'm selling that house for $260K higher than I paid for it 6 years ago. Man shrugging, light skin tone, all I can do is laugh, face with tears of joy. XGF tried to get one of my close friends to do things with her. When he told me and I asked her about it, she told me she liked him, but still liked me more. That was the last straw. I was going to tell you eventually, but I wanted to make sure that we had a genuine connection. I was given this line and shortly after went off the deep end for a while. Became a heavy alcoholic. She implied that in order to make sure her and her new BF had a real connection, she went over to his place several times. With her even taking him back to her place, which is where I found them. My dad's excuse was, you weren't noticing me anymore, there was no intimacy. I was 6 months old and my mom was pregnant with my sister. Woman face palming, light skin tone. I am happily married now to a wonderful guy, but prior to I was cheated on twice. High school boyfriend's excuse, I used to be fat and insecure and it felt good knowing another woman besides you wanted me and I didn't want to disappoint her. College boyfriend's excuse, you were too busy taking your mom to chemo treatments every Friday, so I felt ignored. My chest speaks for itself, Hans Niemann. It wasn't me. It was an accident, it didn't mean anything. So you just tripped and repeatedly landed on that guy's dick? You aren't exactly my type. Actual quote after 3 years of living together. She's hot. I was drunk. It doesn't mean anything. I tripped and fell in her vagina. I dated a girl who told me that she was straight. After our relationship she told me she had known that she was bi for years. That would be fine, I'm bi too. It would be fine if we hadn't agreed that it was alright for her to kiss girls the whole time we were together. So naturally I was hurt and asked, why didn't you just tell me? She said, I didn't want to lose the option to kiss my friends. Like what then? Don't be in a relationship. Edit, a lot of people are questioning if it would be okay if she was straight. In my circle that's pretty normal. Maybe that's weird, or maybe that's a cultural thing. I live in Denmark after all. Also, we were 16 to 17. Edit. A lot of people has also commented things about girls kiss girls as being sexualized. To clarify, it was nothing like that. I don't find it hot, nor will I ever find it hot. I know it's a real problem in our culture in general, and it should really stop. Don't fetishize lesbians, please. Also, if I had a BF who was gay, at that time I would probably allow him to kiss his female friends as well. It's more about having nothing to worry about. I get that it may be hard to get, but that was just my mindset at the time. The point of the post is not what I count as cheating, but that she wasn't honest. I also remembered that she asked me 3 months into the relationship that if she was hypothetically bi, would it still be okay for her to kiss her friends. I said no, it's not okay for me to kiss my friends either, because I'm pan. Yes, the word hypothetical threw me off, and yes, I am that gullible to be an annoyance to the other players. Single player cheats are fine. Somehow it was my fault she cheated. You weren't giving me the attention I needed. Bro, there is no excuse for cheating, but this is by far the worst. She gave me the fuck me eyes. Let's use my cousins. Our marriage just hasn't been the same the past 5 to 6 months. During those 5 to 6 months, his wife's grandfather, practically her father figure, died, and my cousin entered the police academy, meaning he was either working or in class most of the time, leaving her to care for their 2-year-old alone while also working full-time, or cheating with the woman in his academy class who was also married. No shit, things haven't been the same. I've never been more ashamed of a family member. The way he's handled it since she found out about it has just dug the knife in deeper. Who tells me my partner doesn't do the same? This wasn't cheating, but my BF used to like pictures on Instagram of underage girls in bikinis, and when I confronted him and asked why, he said 'cause they look happy. It was then that I realized I was dating an idiot. Edit, ex-boyfriend, sorry, yeah, I'm definitely not with him anymore. Grinning face with sweat. You know how I love my dog. I want to pet it every day. But when I see another dog, I want to pet it too. It doesn't mean I don't love my dog. I just stared at her and said, did you seriously just compare me to your dog? Also, same girl, but it was just part of a pagan ritual. That doesn't count. We actually sat down to discuss what counts as cheating after that. She asked if she managed to project her consciousness into a cat, would it be cheating to be with another cat? Because she was always curious what it feels like for cats. I told her that if she managed to project her consciousness into a cat, she should come to me so I could pet her before she went off to have sex with other cats. Needless to say, that relationship didn't last. I thought, what am I doing with this crazy girl? I want to get married and have kids, and that's never going to happen with her. I met my wife a few months later, and we have 2 kids together. It's not cheating if it stays in the family. These are the reasons he gave me. 1. I'm tight with my friends. 2. I've got guy friends. 3. I wasn't ready to say I love you days into the relationship. Mind you, he cheated on me since the get-go till the relationship ended, despite me telling him that I'd like it to be exclusive. 4. He was insecure about who I was because I am outgoing. 5. He couldn't end things with his ex because she was helping him a lot professionally. 6. Whenever he broke up with her, she would cry and that would turn him on. 7. He said it's all because of me. Everybody cheats, used by cheaters to justify their bad behavior. Actually, most people don't cheat. A lot more people have experienced cheating, because cheaters by definition get around, which makes them seem more populous than they really are. Edit, actually it's 50%, cheaters. You'll do it to me as well, anyways. I was drunk and wasn't thinking clearly. Fuck you, I'm out. She said she had a better pussy than yours. I had to prove her wrong, baby. I think the first one was I'm sorry, this was my first girlfriend from high school. Mine a 6-month relationship. The second girl said you should understand. I mean, look at you then look at me. This was just before I dropped out of high school and she was the hot popular girl in senior year while I was just some short but skilled basketball player a year and a half. The third girl cheated on me while I was at my best friend's funeral several hundred miles away. Her dad, who we lived with, caught her and called me. I never heard what she had to say about it since I blocked her on everything and whatever voicemail she left were erased immediately. This one hurt the most cause her dad was amazing and was the closest thing to a father I ever had. -2 years. Fourth girl a couple years after that was probably actually psychotic cause when I caught her cheating never said anything but got dressed and left, then she had me jumped a couple days later and laughed as it happened. -1 year. Fifth girl I found out I was her backup while her main man was working out of state and saw her on the weekends. He did not know about me. I for real thought I found the one. With this one I was a couple K from buying a house and engagement ring. And then she saved me a lot of money. -3 years. So yeah, every girl I've ever dated has cheated on me. I quit dating after the last one, it was the worst. It's been about 5 years or so. I'm lonely but I'd rather that than be cheated on again. The last one was the worst pain I'd ever felt and genuinely thought about eating a bullet for a while. But fuck her and every single one of those bitches. They won't get the satisfaction of breaking me. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe to never miss an upload.